Hi, I'm Karzan and I am a university teacher in orthoptics at the University of Sheffield, and I help to produce the next generation of orthoptists and eye care professionals. My role is primarily teaching based, and I do some research. I supervise our undergraduate and our postgraduate research projects. So day to day I'm involved with the teaching on the undergraduate programme, and I lead the third year modules for strabismus and ocular motility and clinical orthoptics. And as part of my role I also oversee the Masters in Vision and Strabismus programme. That is a programme that attracts students from all around the world, and that course and programme is delivered online. So as part of my development as an academic and as a university teacher or lecturer, I have completed my fellow in higher education. So that was very much based around understanding what we teach, why we teach and how we teach, and creating an ideal learning environment for students so that they can learn to the best of their ability and maximise their learning opportunities. The opportunities at university are very wide-ranging. As part of my role, I've taken on the Disability Liaison Officer, so I work specifically with students who have disabilities and have learning requirements, and making sure that they have opportunities to learn effectively here at the university and on campus, but also ensuring that if they require any additional support on placement, that they have a placement adjustment plan. A couple of other things that I have been involved with: I've helped to present posters and abstracts at various academic conferences and events, both on a national level, and those opportunities also extend to an international level. Career progression is very similar to a clinical role. You come in at a standard teaching position or a combined teaching and research position, and then providing that you show that you've progressed as an individual, that you've hit certain criteria, then you can extend into more senior levels and senior roles, and also perhaps move into leadership opportunities or a professorial status. What I love about being a teacher is helping students really become the best versions of themselves, becoming safe and effective clinical practitioners. I love the flexibility that academia offers, and no 2 days are the same. So in clinical practice, you very much have your list of patients that you need to see. In the university, one day I could be teaching, one day I could be marking, one day I could be preparing something for one of my programs or modules. And I love the flexibility to be able to do all of those things, and also the creative aspect of being a university teacher and an academic. There are always challenges with any role, and at the end of the day, you are working with young adults who have needs, and there's often a lot of expectation and pressure to pass exams. We also operate on some very tight deadlines, so making sure that work is marked and assessed and feedback is given in a timely manner to students. And sometimes that can be really difficult to manage, but I think like any role, it's being adaptable and being able to think outside the box sometimes and solve problems and work collaboratively as a team. So a little bit of history about how I got here. So I ended up being a clinical orthoptist for 8 years. I started off as a new graduate orthoptist, and I gained some experience in an extended role, and then I became a stroke specialist orthoptist where I worked in Greater Manchester for a number of years. And then within that role I actually started taking on some clinical teaching for the optometry school at the University of Manchester. And that gave me a little taste of working in a higher education setting and working with students. And then from there I transitioned into a full-time teaching role in Sheffield. I think the main difference is the way that you structure your time and the way that you structure your day. So it's very different from going to clinic and having a list of patients that you need to see, and because quite often you might be teaching for a couple of hours, you might then have some meetings, you might have some marking to do, you might be preparing for your module or your program or responding to student queries. So the day can be very varied and no 2 weeks are the same. If you're looking for some more flexibility, if you're looking to bring out a creative side in you, because when you're designing teaching materials or when you're creating a learning environment, that does require you to be creative, and the learning needs of students are perhaps very different from what they were 10 years ago. And so we're seeing quite a big global shift in the way that students learn as individuals and as a group. So if you're a clinician who is passionate about helping students, helping people learn, and you're passionate about teaching, then I'd strongly urge you to consider an academic teaching post. It's just wonderful to see the development of an individual going from not knowing very much about a particular subject to becoming an expert in their field, or at least on their way to becoming an expert in their field.